Hello, everybody. I did just decide to throw in a little extra video this week. Um, I'm in the middle of making the election cake, which we'll post tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday, today's Saturday, obviously. Um, but I am going to be making a picture of iced tea. Um, recipes from one of my other cookbooks, and I just decided that while I had everything out um, for a video, I would film the iced tea as well. Um, this iced tea recipe that I'm making is probably one of my favorite iced teas to make. I make it every summer. Um, honestly, it's pretty much the only iced tea I make at home now. Um, it is featured from the Castle Rock Kitchen by Teresa Carl Sanders. Um, all the recipes in here are based off of the works of Stephen King, which I'm a huge Stephen King fan, which is initially why I wanted this cookbook. Um, just, you know, what better cookbook for someone like me who's one, loves to cook, and two, is a Stephen King fan. It's perfect. However, I gotta say, this has become my favorite cookbook. Um, because of how good the recipes have been. I think I talked about it a little bit in my introduction video a couple weeks ago. Um, we will go through this cookbook eventually on this channel, and I'll probably make the iced tea again when I do that. But for now, I just figured I would throw this in just a little bit, just to have something extra since I was making it. Um, It is the Mom's Iced Red Tea, um, which is a reference to the book Hearts and Atlantis. Um, there is a movie version of Hearts and Atlantis, however, it is very different than the book. Well, I won't say very different. The book is actually four different stories, I believe, four or five. I can't, it's been a couple years since I've read it, so I can't quite remember, but it's at least four different stories um, that are all connected and tied together. The movie version, starring Anthony Hopkins, Anthony Elchin, and David Morse, is based off of the first story in the book and the first story only. You do get a little bit of the last story thrown in there, but not quite the entire story. The iced tea is based off of one of the other stories in the book that was not adapted into the movie, um, where um, the characters are in college and um, one of them's going home for the weekend and his mom is greeting him with her iced tea. Um, is the basis of how it is in the book, at least from the little clip that she's put here in the book. And that is like one of the nice things I really do like about this cookbook is that um, she does include the passage from the book where they do mention um, that food. So it does tie in the reference really nice. Like I said, it has been a couple years since I've read Hearts in Atlanta, so I'm hoping that I am remembering that correctly and basing what I'm telling you correctly off of what I'm reading here for that little passage that she's included. If not, I will let you know when we do go through this again. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because this iced tea is amazing, and that is the main part of this here. So it's really simple to make. It is an unsweetened iced tea, but it does have some really good flavor. I do have some water boiling here on my stove, or starting on the stove in the process of boiling. We are going to be using some red tea here. It is a rooibos tea. I use the Numi brand because that's what I could find where I'm at. Any kind of rooibos tea will do. And then in here, I've got some lemon and orange peel that I've just kind of done into little strips here. Soon as my water boils, I will be back with you. I am going to add my tea bags. And then I'm going to add the orange and the lemon peel. Come on, get in there. Kind of give that a stir. Oh, this smells so good. So, like I said, this is an unsweetened iced tea, but the orange and the lemon peel in it give it a really good flavor. Look at that. Look at that color. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so good. With the combination of the red tea and the citrus fruits in there, it does have like a natural sweetness to it without it being a traditional sweet tea. I am just going to let that set for about 10 minutes here. I'm going to set my timer for it. I'm going to let that just steep and get nice and strong and get a good flavor into it. After this is done, I'm going to remove the tea bags and add some cold water to it, and then stick it in the fridge and let it chill for a couple hours until I'm ready to drink it. After this has steeped, I will be back to show you the rest. Okay, so I have let that set 10 minutes. I have taken the tea bags out. I do leave the orange and lemon peel in mine. That is some cold water. Going to add a little bit more here. Okay, there's the rest of our cold water. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir here. This iced tea is so good. It's so pretty. The orange and the lemon peel gives it a really good flavor. I'm going to pour this in my pitcher really quick, and then I will show you what it looks like in there so you can see it a little bit better. And I will be back. Alright, so I have my iced tea finished. It's all poured in the pitcher. Like I said, I do leave the lemon and orange peel in there. You can see it floating in the bottom. I'm going to pop this in my fridge for a couple hours before drinking it because it is better when it is super cold. You can serve it over ice if you like. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, just depending on whether or not I have ice, my mood. Sometimes I just want something really quick and everything. But yeah, that is our little bonus video on Mom's Red Iced Tea from the Castle Rock Kitchen. Until next time, bye!